Hey everybody, very proud to announce, yes, another young Sheng Pu'er. However, this one's quite unique and different. The 2017 Yunnan sourcing impression cake, blend of 2017 spring and autumn teas, pressed at the very end of the year. And yeah, an incredibly affordable tea. We've done the 2012, 2014, 2015 Yunnan sourcing impression teas, which are all blended teas, and they are very affordable, very powerful, and they're appropriate for aging. This one, the wrapper design is by Rising Red Lotus. Check out risingredlotus.com. We have another cake that's going to be pressed soon, Year of the Dog, which was also done by Rising Red Lotus as well. So check that out. This is, I'm just really wowed by this design. This is the first time we didn't go with the yin and yang, but I feel that there's kind of a similar feeling with the black and white and also the water. And so I think that the design's just really great. But let's get to the tea itself. Let's brew it up and see what the tea's like. So I'm really trying to create these blends because, you know, I want people to be able to, you know, just be able to say, hey, I'm gonna get a tong of this. This is a good tea for aging, and not have it just completely break the bank. I mean, La Banjiang is great, but at $860 a cake or whatever it is, you're not going to be putting away a tong or maybe even a cake to age it. So the aim is clean tea, strong tea, blend, so that you're covering like a bunch of different, you know, profiles, and you know, just to kind of follow in the footsteps of some of these, you know, larger factory teas, but doing something better actually. So which I think actually really isn't that hard to do, because a lot of these big factories, you know, they have huge profits and they use incredibly cheap, not clean pesticide tea, pesticides and on plantation tea with a lot of pesticides, things like that. So we're really, you know, we're really putting the emphasis on clean, powerful, affordable with this series. And this 2017 cake is certainly no slouch, even at $23 for 357 grams. So anyways, let's get to it. I'm actually going to drink a little bit of the wash here. Keep going. Fresh, very kind of, you know, green, but kind of like more of a honey-like aroma. Almost briny. Nice, just for a wash, that's already really quite strong. I'm going to keep these early steeps short. The aroma is really strong as well. You know, I know that these teas aren't really going to be analogous to, you know, some of these big tea factory teas, Xiaguan, Menghai, and things like that, in terms of the blending and the outcomes. But I do feel, if you go back to the 2012 Yunnan sourcing impression and you drink that now, and it's, you know, well, that was 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, that was 6 years ago. So you can try that, although it's a different blend than this one. And in fact, I think, you know, now for these, this newest cake, this is probably the highest quality material that we've used in an impression cake. And we actually sat down and we decided to, my wife and Xiaguan and I, that we were going to have a lower markup on this cake as well, to keep it really within the affordable range. And not a huge production. I forget the total amount. It's not a huge amount. I think it's around 150 or 200 kilos total. So definitely for us, it's a fairly large pressing, but you know, compared to these big tea factories, it's a tiny, tiny quantity of tea. Floral, green, umami, honey, fruit. There's just so much going on with this tea. Let's keep going here. That steep was just really nice, just really kind of wowed, you know. This is one of those teas that I think, you know, is just in terms of price to quality ratio, you know, this is definitely on the very, you know, upper end of quality price, you know, to price ratio. Nice, thick, a little bit of definitely astringency and bitterness going on there, but it's not, it's definitely not taking the forefront. It's there, kind of a little bit of that, you know, mouth watering on the side of the tongue feeling as well. Gotta reward Lucy here. Let's go another steep here. All right. Oops. All right. Really nice high aroma, sweet, floral again. Definitely more bitterness and astringency coming in. You know, we've got some Mengku teas in here. Wow. Thick, pungent, really just long-lasting mouthfeel too. It's got this heavy kind of, you know, real compact bitterness and astringency, which you can feel in the mouth, but isn't really particularly drying to the mouth. There's a little bit of dryness in this, which is, you know, anytime you're drinking a real strong, especially young, bitter, astringent tea, you'll find that it has that. Let's wait a second. Give it a little. Got a little bit in here. Wow. This is definitely a good wake-up tea. If you've, you know, it could be maybe a little rough on the stomach. I mean, compared to green tea, I don't find that even a young sheng pu'er like this one is hard on the stomach. For me, green tea is much harder on the stomach. But this is, wow, this is a tea that you could definitely wake up to. We're drinking in the afternoon, about 4:30 or so, last tea of the day. This should get me through until 11 o'clock at night or even later. Real nice. Long-lasting mouthfeel too. There's definitely that umami kind of feeling, taste feeling going on in the mouth as well with this tea, which is, you know, a lot of pu'ers really do have that. And we're gonna at the end here, we're gonna dump the leaf out and we're gonna take the camera off its tripod and maybe get a couple of shots of the tea leaves, because the tea leaves are incredibly impressive for a tea in this price range. Oh, I did put it in there. Wow. Got some memory lossage. Wow, I'd say this steep is definitely the strongest of all of them. It's just really hitting hard. Powerful tea, strong, bitter, astringent, really transforming the mouth. Definitely getting the real cha-chi from this tea as well now too. Ooh, wow. Maybe I shouldn't push it. Yeah, maybe I'll be going to bed a little closer to midnight tonight. Nice balance of bitterness and astringency. I really like it when they're balanced. Too much astringency is definitely not good, but for such a young tea like this one, for it to have the bitterness and also have a lot of astringency as well, I think that that's pretty normal. Nice throat feel. It's really throaty as well. Yeah, I like to kind of smack my lips and move my tongue around in my mouth. That gives me a real sense of the tea as well. Little burp there. Oh yeah, this is definitely. Lucy's waiting over here patiently. All right. Wow. Loving it, loving it. It's so nice to be able to make these teas that are really good, clean, kind of more in the traditional, style of blended tea, and then also have it just be really affordable as well. That makes me feel good, because when I started out with tea, it was never my intention. In fact, I think quite the opposite. It was very much anti-elitist, anti-kind of snobbery. And at the time, there just wasn't really that much. I mean, the market, back in 2004, 2005, early on, even just before 2010, there's just market was not developed and people didn't really have much of an understanding, So my whole thing was just to get people to drink tea, and pricing tea affordably. And yeah, prices have gone up. I've had to increase the prices because of the prices in China have gone up. The US dollar's gone down. As a business, operating on, a razor thin profit for many, many years. We've always had a fairly thin profit margin, but so, prices have gone up. But I think people's understanding and appreciation of tea has gone up too. So, but anyways, I digress. But it really feels good for me to be able to keep being able to just offer something that I feel good about, and that's also really, really affordable for anybody. And I think that this tea really accomplishes that. And I think that it accomplishes, a tea that's good for aging as well. So, I think if you compare it to, even a 7542 is about, quite a bit more expensive than this now. A Monghai 7542 or an 8582, one of their cheapest blended raws. In my opinion, especially the ones that they're producing nowadays, which, they're okay, but, if you compare them to, what you're getting for $23 with this cake here, I think that you're, it's just not even a contest. So I'm definitely happy about that. But back to the tea. The tea has a really nice mouthfeel as well. It's strong, but it's not, it's not, it doesn't make you feel, messed up or anything like that. It's a nice clean feeling. With all my talking, oh, no, I didn't put it in there. That's why I keep looking. All right. Just kind of waiting. I don't really have anything to say. That's about it. No, actually I have more to say. Let's just wait on this and we'll keep going. Coming out soon, just pressed. Well, not just pressed, but coming out soon. We've got 2 Yunnan sourcing brand certified organic. Yes, you heard it right. EcoCert, which is IFOAM accredited, therefore USDA, JAS, certified organic ripe pu'er tea cakes. A gongting and then a blended one. And those are going to be coming out probably by the time you see this video. So I think that's really exciting as well. Are you excited about that, Lucy? Lucy's very hungry. But yeah, we a lot of new teas coming out. There's Year of the Dogs, I think it's gonna be a great year. So I think overall, I think we're gonna be we're gonna have our hands full as we did last year with great teas and having to narrow down choices. Even with our narrowed down, offering, it still can be quite overwhelming. But let's go another steep with this and see how we're doing. Nice sweetness. Some of the bitterness and astringency has faded somewhat. So now we're getting a little bit more. I'm actually going to give this a little boost. Actually, you know what? We'll just leave it at that. Y'all don't want to wait around for 2-3 minutes while I push this thing. But I would say this is a good tea. Like I said, for all the reasons before. Steeping, it's fairly infusible. We could easily do 2-3 more good steeps out of this. It also depends on personal preference. I talked a bit about that in the last video, just about steeping and steeping times. But the way that I steep it, I'd say, 7, 8, 9 times would be my kind of, ideal. I think we've done about 6 or 7 here. I tend not to just steep unless I'm just kind of hanging out and just have time to kill, which is great. But yeah, let's dump the leaf out and see what we can see here. And so there's a bit of chop in there, but yeah, there's some. That's, I think, one of the things about teas that, there's a real big leaf in there, but it's all nice, dark, overall dark olive color. Really naturally grown tea, healthy tea plants. But yeah, nice, fairly tight compression on the cake too, so it'll age nice in even more hot and humid climates as well. But yeah.